Hey there Pokemoshpitbeta, this is MultiHGW bringing you my first upload to this channel. It's a UU match against PokeaimMD. Let's get on with the battle. He's leading off with a Hippowdon, I'm leading off with my Donphan. Looking at his team here, it's probably worth my while to just set up the Stealth Rocks on the first turn. He does have a Hitmontop, so he could probably spin them away, but as long as I keep Donphan alive, that shouldn't be an issue. He's going to go for Earthquake on the first turn just to break my Sturdy, pretty sensible play. And I'm just going to go for an Ice Shard, just wanting to scout some damage, even though Earthquake would have done more and it would have been a smarter play. I was kind of rushing that turn. I just saw super effective in my head and I just pressed it. And sometimes I tend to not think too much. But he does have his own Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to switch out, go out into my Hitmontop. Because I figure he's probably going to attack me again. I can get the Intimidate off on this thing. That will lower the damage, and I can work around from there. So that's what I proceed to do. Intimidate does mean that his Earthquake does considerably less, even though it's Stab. And the Leftovers is going to negate the Sandstorm as well. I think it's Leftovers. Oh well. Gonna go into a Chandelure here, predicting any kind of fighting move or maybe the Rapid Spin. The Rapid Spin does seem like a more viable option as to why he would go into Chandelure. But it's kind of worked out into my favour because I have Sucker Punch and he doesn't know that yet. But he's about to realise. I'm gonna go for it now and I figure that should take this thing out, right? Nope. He's gonna live. Brings him down to the red, but not quite gonna take him out. So Flamethrower is gonna take me out instead. Chandelure has some very monstrous special attacks, so there wasn't much chance of me living that. But I can go into Alakazam, just Psychic it, get the revenge kill, and at this point I'm thinking I'm Focus Sash. So I figure I can take any one hit. He goes into Stoutland here, and I'm figuring Retaliate Banded probably, but 1 HP Focus Blast should take this thing out, right? No, because I have a Life Orb, and I didn't know that because obviously Magic Guard negates the damage that I would take from a Life Orb, so there was no way for me to know. Or no way for me to know, rather. But he's going to switch out now and go out into his Hippowdon. Let's go into my Ambipom here. Fake Out was rather obvious, but, you know, I figured it's probably best to just make the safe play. Just see what he wants to go into take the hit. And now I'm at a predicament. I'm thinking Hippowdon is quite a heavy Pokemon, so if I go for the low kick, it should do quite a lot of damage, right? 120 base power maybe? But that still does nothing, so at this point I kind of realised, okay, this thing's clearly max defense, max HP. That would work out pretty well because obviously Sandstorm's gonna bring up a special defense, and that is the typical Hippowdon EV spread, I think. But I've not played too many Hippowdon, so I don't know. I'm going to go into Weavile though, go for the Stab Super Effective Ice Punch, and figuring that's probably going to take it out because of my Life Orb. But even with my Life Orb, it's not going to take him out, but luckily for me, he only roars me out instead of taking me out, so that really is good, because if I'd lost Weavile, would have been a fair loss of momentum there. But now I'm going to go into Donphan because I got roared into it, and I can outspeed this guy and just hit him with an Earthquake. And nothing on this team wants to appreciate an Earthquake and then an Ice Shard or a second Earthquake, so best interest for him here is to just let his Hippowdon die and get a free switch, which he goes into his Whimsicott. And this thing, I've never actually faced a Whimsicott in my 5 months of Wi-Fi battling, so I wasn't quite sure what they do. He gets a Leech Seed off on me, and I know these things have Prankster, that's all I really knew about them. So he gets off the Leech Seed. Ice Shard does quite a nice chunk for being unstabbed, but then it is still super effective, and I don't think Whimsicott have the best defences. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leech Seed gonna bring him back up to quite a nice chunk, but I'm figuring I don't really have much reason to switch out here. Gonna dodge the Stun Spore like a ninja, and just hit him with the Ice Shard. Does a nice chunk again, and I'm figuring 1 or 2 more should probably take this thing out. 1 if I get a crit, 2 if I don't. Just factoring in the Leech Seed here as well. So Leech Seed is going to bring him back up to about half HP, and now he for some reason encores me into Ice Shard. And I don't understand the logic behind that because I had no reason to switch out, I had no reason to switch moves. Maybe that was a misclick. That's the way I look at that move. If Joey watches this, maybe he'll like post it in the comments. Anyway, Ice Shard nearly takes it out. Leftovers and Leech Seed are going to bring it up to a point where it's out of the red but still can't survive another Ice Shard, so he's forced to switch, goes out into Mew. I was hoping he'd stay in just so I could take this thing out. But Mew's obviously going to take the Ice Shard very nicely, so there really wasn't much point me staying in now. I figure the Psychic is what most Mews tend to carry in my own experience. So going into Weavile to be immune to that and then maybe hitting him after with a Pursuit seems like a pretty good idea to me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch out, go into Weavile, and does he go for the Psychic? Does he go for it? Does he go for it? No, he doesn't actually go for it. He goes for the Aura Sphere. And I was thrown off to the max. I was like, but since when did... I know Mew gets every move, but I really was not expecting Aura Sphere. I've only ever seen Mew as maybe a baton passing set or a lead set, and occasionally I see the odd Nasty Plot set, but never with Aura Sphere. So I'm going to go to Raikou, figuring if I get PokeaimMD, I can take his hits a bit better, special defense raise and all that, and special attack raise will be very useful for me. But he goes for the Psyshock instead. And that's obviously going to negate my Calm Mind, so that was a very good prediction if he was predicting that. Which I presume he probably was, because Joey's a very good player. And he's not going to want to take a +1 Thunderbolt from Raikou, so he's going to go into Whimsicott just as death fodder. Thunderbolt, +1, stab. Not very effective, but that shouldn't change anything. And I get a critical hit here, which obviously is just overkill. And he's going to lose his Whimsicott. Now he's going to go into his Stoutland, and I figure Raikou is pretty much death fodder at this HP, so I might as well just like let him get off the Retaliate or whatever and see what he wants to do. He goes for Frustration, and he's max Happiness, so that does 6 damage even while banded, and I can get off the Thunderbolt and take out Stoutland. That is the biggest threat he had gone. But unfortunately now the Sandstorm and Life Orb is going to wear down my Raikou to the point where I faint. But I've only got Bronze Fan left, my Don Fan, and he has Mew and Hitmontop. So I'm gonna go for the Earthquake here as he goes for an Aura Sphere. I have no special defensive investment, but because of his own Sandstorm being up, I'm able to take that, get off an Earthquake, and do some reasonable damage to this Mew. Does a very nice chunk because of max attack, max HP. And here I'm figuring an Ice Shard may just take this thing out. If I get very lucky, maybe max damage. I'm unaware if it will take it out at max damage or not, but it's worth a try, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't take him out, and he's going to get a Psyshock off, but I live with 17 HP, and his own Sandstorm's going to take him out, so how's that for Karma? Karma and Irony at its best right there. So now he's only got Hitmontop left, I've only got Donphan left, but there's no way that I can survive a Muck Punch, so I'm going to go down. That's a 1-0 in Joey's favour. That's a good game, and I hope you guys enjoyed my first upload here at PMPBeta, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.